Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the National Football League preseason week number 2. Tonight, the Indianapolis Colts take on the Chicago Bears. Good evening, everybody. I'm Don Fisher, along with former Colts coach Rick Venturi. Well, Rick, last week, the Colts got beat by the Philadelphia Eagles handily. Obviously, not a very good performance.
No, it really wasn't. It was a day that you basically just established baselines. Other than when Andrew was in the game for a brief period of time, there's certainly a lot of improvement to be had.
Well, there's no question about that. And obviously, in week 2, you want to redeem yourself to some degree, don't you?
Oh, you really do, Don. And the good news is this. There's an adage in coaching that number 1, between game 1 and game 2 is where you make the most amount of improvement, usually for the whole year. So what I'd like to see tonight is a much more assertive offense. I'd like to put on display and flash at least some of the explosiveness that we've seen in practice. On defense, I'd like to see this unit play with a real sense of urgency in that regard and really get after it. And then I think the bottom line at the end of the night, regardless of the scoreboard, we want to feel a lot better about this team tonight than we did last Sunday.
Well, in that case, let's take a look at the Bud Light keys to the game, Coach.
Well, the first key offensively is you've got to dominate the edges of the Chicago Bears. The strength of the Bear defense, Jared Allen, McPhee, Houston, those guys, you got to block them all day, pass or run. Defensively, you got to gang tackle like you mean it. They didn't tackle very well last week. They've got to get that done. And then in special teams, we got to find a way to get Dorsett space. This is lightning in a bottle. We've got to unleash him, get him some space, and let him go.
Tonight's Bud Light keys to the game are brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for living life by your own playbook. Obviously, a lot of fans on hand here tonight. Very excited to see their team in person for the first time. And the kickoff is just moments away. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears. Indianapolis Colts football is brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Well, right now, Indianapolis, the fans standing here at Lucas Oil Stadium for the start of our national anthem here this evening. And Rick, as we get set for this football game, the Chicago Bears are going to provide a pretty interesting test.
Yes, they really are. They have a revamped defense, a new 3-4. It's going to be a little different to look at. And they had a couple players on offense that are tough.
All right, let's go to Steve Jansen.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang loud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Carly Brooke. And our national anthem sung by Carly Brooke. A rousing ovation for her and for all the servicemen on the sideline that are holding the flag here this evening. It's time for the pregame injury report presented by Indiana University Health. Schedule an IU Health same-day appointment at iuhealth.org/same-day today. Well, Colts have been pretty fortunate in the injury department thus far, Rick. And tonight, we're not going to see several players that we saw in the first ball game, i.e. Quan Bray, Jalil Brown, Hugh Thornton, and Kobe Fleener. Thornton probably was the guy that we knew about going into this game tonight previously.
That's exactly right, and that's tough because you're really trying to develop offensive line depth and have some competition there. And Fleener, I don't think it's anything that we're not going to see next week. But the most important thing without Fleener, maybe Don will see a lot more three wide receiver offense tonight.
Well, right now, let's go down to the field for the Toyota sideline report. And our man who was last week sweating up a storm on the sideline in Philadelphia at 90-degree heat with a sport coat on, Steve Andrus. Hey, Steve.
Hey guys, yeah, a little cooler here at Lucas Oil Stadium tonight. It was certainly an entertaining couple of days leading up to this preseason game as well. Of course, Wednesday and Thursday, the first time under Chuck Pagano that the Colts held joint practices, of course, against the Chicago Bears. From watching those practices myself, the offense was extremely sharp for the Colts. The defense had 3 interceptions on Thursday, and that was after Bears quarterback Jay Cutler admitted that the Colts defense won the day on Wednesday as well. Overall, every Colt I talked to said it was absolutely worthwhile.
A ton. You get comfortable when you go against the same guy long enough, and for the tight ends, tackles, I'm sure everybody, it was just a refresher to go against someone else and really concentrate on your technique. When you get into a habit of going against the same person, you pick up on little keys and tendencies that they have, and you can sometimes play out of your technique.
No question, that was valuable. Forte, he's been a great back for a long time, man, and he still has it. We witnessed it over there, so it's good to go up against an opponent like that. And see how we can do stopping it. I mean, I feel we did a pretty good job, man.
Wednesday was also the first time that a visiting team has ever come to the Colts complex. Not only that, Wednesday was the 30th anniversary of that building opening on West 56th Street. And guys, if the Colts play anything like they practiced Wednesday and Thursday against the Bears, we are in for an entertaining evening.
Well, as we know, Don, you got to bring it to the game. The one thing that was obvious in practice to me was the speed that the Colts have on offense. Now, these practices are invaluable because in some ways they show a lot more in a closed practice than they might even do in the game. So, I think they got a lot out of it. I wouldn't be too judgmental on the practices. Let's watch it tonight and see how the practice carries into the game.
You have a look at John Fox there at the sideline. He's the new head coach of the Chicago Bear Ball Club. And there you see Pat McAfee getting ready to kick off as the Bears won the toss here tonight and elected to receive. FedEx is proud to deliver the game ball for the Indianapolis Colts. FedEx, solutions that matter.
Well, Don, we're going to see how that defense shores up right off the bat. I think we all want to see that, and so we're going to get a good look right from the beginning. Obviously, a much more conventional offense tonight.
Mark Mariani is back deep for the Bears to receive this Pat McAfee kickoff, and the ball on its way, and it's to the sideline, and Mariani had to step out of bounds to field it. But nevertheless, it's a penalty flag because it went out of bounds before it got to that end zone.
First down.
That's pretty unusual for Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I mean, he's the touchback king of the league. That's amazing.
Well, let's take a look at the Toyota starting lineups presented by your Central Indiana Toyota dealers. Toyota, the official vehicle of the Colts. There's a new addition, Eddie Royal, to that wide receiver spot for the Bears, who are kind of hurting in that department, Coach.
Yeah, he's an outstanding guy. Had 90 catches as a rookie in 08 with Jay Cutler. Had 62 a year ago. I thought he was outstanding in practice. He's going to give him a boost. They get Jeffries back with him, and I think take a look tonight, Don. A real tough matchup, and the Colts have struggled with this on Martellus Bennett. He's a real lengthy tight end who can move.
Jay Cutler, of course, the quarterback for Chicago. And 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. And Matthew Forte. This guy is a heck of a running back. And he gets the call to start the ball game, takes it right up the middle and picks up about 5 yards on the punt carry. And the ball apparently got loose. A lot of scrambling down there. The officials waiting to unpile things to see whether or not a Bear or a Colt might have it. Lots of folks in there. It is the Bears football.
Well, you're right about Forte. He's one of 2 backs in the history of the National Football League ever to gain 1,000+ yards and catch over 100 balls. The other one was Damian Thomason. So this is one of the best all-purpose backs in football.
Art Jones, of course, was involved in that tackle. There you see a look at the Colts defensive unit. Linebackers Jackson and Freeman. And Mike Adams had a chance to talk to him this week. We'll talk more about him in a moment. Here's the handoff to Forte, and he gets stuffed in the backfield.
Excellent by Walden there, 93. Great job of setting the edge. That's what he does best. And, you know, a good start right there. Now you got him in 3rd and long down right where you want him.
Trent Cole was helping out of the stop. It's 3rd down and 8. Cutler, without a huddle this time, lines him up. Forte, the single running back. Both wideouts are actually 3 to the near side. And Jay Cutler, lots of time. Now he's got to get rid of it. He gets away. Flag came down late. Here's a throw downfield, and wide open for the catch is Joshua Bellamy. Bellamy brought down, but let's see what that flag is all about.
Hold it.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
We'll take a look here at Charles Leno Jr.
Okay, here comes the blitz off the left side. Right here, gets outside of the contain. You're probably not going to be able to see that on the replay, but obviously holding. Now you set him up in great shape now.
And Charles Leno was the guy who had a hold of the face mask there of Eric Walden.
Much more aggressive tonight, Don. That was a weak side blitz there with Lowry coming off the edge.
So a big loss for the Bears, and they're going to be in a 3rd down long scenario. 3rd and 18. Cutler out of the shotgun.
Dime defense, Don.
Checks to the line of scrimmage. Talks to his wideouts.
Screen and draw time.
And Jay Cutler to the air right over the middle. And the catch made by Marquise Wilson. He gets sprung down at the 40-yard line, and that's where the Bears will be forced to punt things away.
Excellent close there by Lowry. He's ready to go tonight. Again, just a short drag pattern right here coming across the middle. Keep everything in front in that situation. Good play by Lowry coming up and finishing it off.
Philip Dorsett is back deep to receive. And punting the ball away for Chicago. Patrick O'Donnell. Very high punt, and Dorsett retrieves it and a fair catch right at the 21-yard line. So we'll keep it here as the Indianapolis Colts offense will come onto the field, led by Andrew Luck. Luck, of course, terrific start last week, but came out midway through that second drive, Coach, and we never saw him again.
Yes, he was excellent. You know, the only pass that he didn't hit was a drop. So I think we'll see him a little bit longer. I'd like to get going here. I'd like to be assertive on offense tonight.
T.Y. Hilton at the bottom of your screen did not play in last week's game. In fact, didn't even make the trip to Philadelphia. Not because of injury, personal issue. And here's the handoff, and guess who's out there at the running back spot? Frank Gore, and he is going to be a favorite for this ball club. There you take a look at the backs and receivers for Indianapolis. Gore getting the start tonight. Vic Ballard may see action here this evening. That's a good news thing. And, of course, the veteran line with Jack Newhart playing at the right tackle position. 2nd down and 5 for Indianapolis. Andrew out of the shotgun. Takes a look, gets hit, he'll go down. Sacked out there on the play by Pernell McPhee. And he's one of those guys you talked about in the open, Coach.
Set it up first for him. All right, this is what I worry about on the edges right here. All right, this is McPhee coming underneath Newhart. That's an issue Jack Scott with. That's what we've got to learn about Jack here in the preseason. He's got to set inside. Again, McPhee started up, came inside, got to hold the edges.
So the Colts now have a 3rd and long. 3rd and 14 for Indianapolis. In the backfield is Gore. And Andrew Luck going to work. Looks downfield. He gets chased. He's going to get hit. And he throws the football away. Looking for Andre Johnson, but that really was just getting rid of the football. Jarvis Jenkins had pressure on him that time.
No question about it. Jenkins had pressure. McPhee as well. You know, the Colts are going to have to figure out on this right side here. Again, issue there, issue inside. So, you know, we're going to have to pick that up. That was not a good start protection-wise.
Pat McAfee back in the ball game now to punt it for the first time. Mark Mariani is back deep for Chicago. And the boot of beauty. McAfee drives the receiver back to the 20-yard line, and Mariani takes it up to the 40 and gets a good run back here as he crosses the 45 before they finally are able to shove him out of bounds. So a very nice return for Chicago. They're going to have great field position when play resumes. Clayton Gathers is the man who knocked him out, and obviously no score yet in this ball game. There you see a shot of Jack Buhort, playing a right tackle for the first time this season. Last week, and of course his second preseason game at that spot. Here is Jay Cutler handing the ball off to Matt Forte, and he carries it up to the 50-yard line where he is dumped for just a 1-yard gain by D'Qwell Jackson.
Again, excellent job at the point, you know, by Walden. He did a heck of a job, and then great fill by Jackson.
2nd down and 9 for Chicago. Bears getting great field position after McAfee's 63-yard punt that was returned 29 yards by Mariani. Here's the pass upfield, and a nice catch made out there by Forte out of the backfield. You know what, Coach? He led them, Forte, in receptions last year.
As I said, you know, earlier, 102 catches, 1,000 rushing. All right, this is really on Freeman. This is quarters coverage. Freeman has got to get to the flat. He's got to push out. Vontae took off with the X. Lowry hung back in the corner. Freeman's got to go get that guy.
12-yard gain of the play. First down for Chicago at the Colts 38-yard line. Marquise Wilson is the receiver at the top of your screen. And Cutler rolls out at a bootleg. Lets it fly deep and way overthrown as he was going for Wilson once again. But that time Wilson had no chance. The ball was just thrown too hard.
Good coverage by Toller. Cutler got an edge a little bit on the hard bootleg. On that last play, now he's coming out, but that was David Perry. That was his debut there with the number 1s at nose tackle, number 54.
Wilson may have pulled a little bit of a hamstring or tweaked it as he came to the sideline immediately and kind of slowly came up the sideline. Eddie Royal down the ball game, but why not to the top of your screen? Here's a handoff to Forte. Tries the middle of the field. He'll pick up the top 2, and that's all.
Excellent run fit by Jackson here. This is the counter tray, the little bit of counter. Blocked down. Jackson stepped right up and got it.
Trent Cole, Kendall Langford,
right there. Jackson, right there. Great job by Jackson, D'Qwell Jackson.
3rd down and 8. And the Chicago Bears down another 3rd down scenario.
They covered last time. Let's see if they come after him, Don.
Rashad Lawrence is the wide receiver to the right. And Forte gets the handoff, tries the middle, dives forward. Not very far as he gets it to about the 32-yard line.
Interesting there. That was a dime defense. Another rookie, 42 in there. Gathers, if you see him right at the edge, coming in there hard. You know, I think he tripped him up. He got a part of it, but that's probably the first running play he's seen live as a dime linebacker, obviously, in his career here.
Robbie Gould has come in to attempt a field goal. This will be a long one, a 50-yarder. And the ball put down, and Gould's kick, plenty of leg into it, and he knocks it through. So the first 3 of the football game belong to the Chicago Bears. With 8:07 to go here in the first quarter, Chicago takes the early lead. There you see Chuck Pagano as the Bears take the early lead in this football game, 3-0 on the goal field goal of 50 yards. Meyer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts, will host special Blue Friday events throughout the 2015 season. During every Blue Friday, 23 lucky fans will each win 2 tickets to the upcoming Colts home game. For more information, visit Colts.com/Blue Friday. Right now, it'll be Robbie Gould kicking off for Chicago. Back deep, Duron Carter and Zerlon Tipton. 2 guys in the end zone, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Don't see that very often anymore. Boot, end over end, and it'll be Carter. And he's going to bring it out. At the 15. Found a hole, popped through to the 20, and then to about the 24 before he's brought down. On the stop this time, it's Jonathan Bostic.
He listened to you, Don. He basically was decisive on that one.
Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Oh, no.
Colts got a penalty out of it. That was the Citizens Energy Group scoring recap. That's we had that on the screen there momentarily for you. A 6-play drive, 19 yards, or 2:33 was the time frame, and a 50-yard field goal by Robbie Gould. So that's how Chicago gets on the scoreboard, and the Colts get penalized all the way back down inside the 10 to the 7-yard line.
You know, that was a much better series. It was a blown coverage by Freeman, but overall much more physical than a week ago.
A holding violation against the Colts. Frank Gore in the backfield with Andrew Luck. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far. T.Y. Hilton at the top of your screen. Here's the handoff, and Frank Gore finds a hole on the right side, pops from all the way from the 7 out to about the 12. A nice run there by Gore as Pernell McPhee makes the stop. A look now at the starting lineup for the Chicago Bears defensively. Jared Allen, of course, a mainstay of this defense. Pernell McPhee also. Tim Jennings been around a long time. Defensive backfield. Quick throw by Andrew out of the backfield. And Andre Johnson makes his presence felt with another nice catch and then a nice run afterwards.
Excellent. You know, they were light on the box out there. Andrew tripped the quick side adjust bubble to Andre and moved the ball. Really. See, they don't have enough guys out there. There's the quick one. A quick bubble. Again, that's a side adjust. It's a called run. Able to pick up the first down. Like the way Frank takes it up. Soon as Frank Gore's in the ball game, you see a difference.
1st and 10 for Indianapolis. Ball at the 20-yard line. And Boom Herron is checked into the lineup. And Andrew. Play action down the middle of the field, and Andre Johnson, the intended receiver, this time could not pull it in. And that's a rare drop because once he touches the football, it usually stays on those big hands.
Well, the one thing the Colts did a little bit different. If you see Allen in there, they're going to keep Allen in there to help Muhart right off the bat. Still had trouble on the right side with Jenkins, but again, they're going to keep that tight end on the right side. Got to shore this up.
2nd down and 10 for Indianapolis at the 20-yard line. Andrew out of the shotgun this time. Hands to Boom. Herron pops right off left guard and tackle. Takes it up near the 25-yard line for a 5-yard gain. Pernell McPhee again in on the tackle.
Little short power, pulling of the right guard. Pretty good action in there. Take it on up in there. Get what you can get.
And Boom Herron does a nice job trying to find a hole and picking his way behind the blockers. It's 3rd down and 5, however, for Indianapolis. Andrew out of the shotgun.
For the quick ones here. Double Covey.
Andrew changes something at the line of scrimmage, then takes the snap. Fires the ball down the middle of the field. Can't quite tell what happened there, Coach.
I know. I was looking downfield at the coverage. I thought Andre was coming over. I think he had to get rid of it quick again. I think Jared Allen this time off the right side. Yes, sir. See, Anthony's got to get out of there on this guy. Didn't set deep enough, and basically Jared Allen was able to turn the corner on him.
And Mark Mariani is back deep to receive Pat McAfee's punt. McAfee gets off another boomer, drives Mariani back to the 15-yard line. He cuts to the outside, turns it upfield. Mariani with another nice return for Chicago. And Colt Anderson comes down at special teams to make the stop. But Chicago will have the football once again when play resumes here momentarily. Win, you win. Get 50% off your regular menu price online order the day after the Colts win. Log on to papajohns.com and enter promo code Colts50. That's Colts50.
Okay, let's take a look at that pressure by Jared Allen right here at the right end. It's a simple four-man rush. He's on Anthony, our most reliable tackle. Now, this is the leading sacker in active ball right now. That's excellent edge pressure. Not bad. You know, you got to be able to step up a little bit, but there wasn't a lot of room to step up.
Well, Chicago has the football again. 1st and 10. And Jay Cutler goes to a little quick pass right over the middle. Martellus Bennett, the tight end, makes the reception. Jarrell Freeman on the tackle.
That was what we call a fire zone. Walden was coming with the linebacker, and they play like a zone behind it, and Cutler was able to read it and get the ball out quick.
2nd down and 4 for Chicago at the 43-yard line of the Bears. Eddie Royal lined up as a wideout to the near side this time. Bottom part of your screen. And Cutler hands to Forte, and this time he is hit before he gets out of the backfield. Nice job by the Colts defense that time, and a really good job by Kendall Langford.
Yeah, and that's what Kendall can do. You know, I've watched him for years with the Rams. He is a good, solid 5 technique run player.
Take a look at it again here.
Right there. See, he beats 74, throws him off, makes the play. That's a big-time Sunday play. That's not just holding your ground. That's throwing a guy off and making a play.
Now it's 3rd down and 4 for the Bears. Cutler out of the shotgun. Cutler has some time and got rid of the football, but there's a flag that comes down. Eddie Royal, the intended receiver. Well, let's see what the coverage comes from and whether or not that had something to do with why.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense number 28. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Greg Toller apparently made contact with a receiver that time before the ball was thrown.
It's really too bad because this was an excellent play by Freeman inside. They tried to isolate Freeman with Royal, and Freeman did a terrific job. That was the hardest part of the play.
So the Bears get a 1st down via penalty, and the ball is resting at the 48-yard line now, Chicago. Bears trying to get into Colt territory for the 2nd time. And they're going to. Bennett made the catch, and then it got up immediately. I guess they're going to say that Bennett was not down by contact there.
Yeah, very, very quick rhythm passing here. They're doing a lot of pressuring with the lineman, the Sam, and the Mike, and he's getting that ball out quick before they can lock down. They're going to have to get to more man-to-man coverage to lock them down quicker.
2nd down and 4, gain of 6 in that last pass play. And Jay Cutler goes back to work. Throws it out here to Royal. And Eddie Royal tries to turn the corner. He's run out of bounds by Toller. And they do pick up a 1st down.
Again, a quick bubble out there. You got to respond as soon as that's one of those side adjusts. Got to respond and tackle. That's where Royal is going to be dangerous in that slot.
So
Greg's got to close quicker.
Bears have a 1st and 10 at the Colt 40-yard line. 5 guys spread out this time as receivers, an empty backfield in which the ball is snapped to Jay Cutler. And he fires it right over the middle to Wilson, and Marquise Wilson breaks a tackle and heads up to the 30-yard line before he's put to the ground by Mike Adams.
Again, Jay is getting the ball off really quick tonight against the underneath zones, and the only thing you can do when you get a lot of that is you got to get up and press and take away those drag routes.
So now the ball, just a 2nd and short yardage situation, 2nd and 1. And Forte picks up the 1 easily and then some as he crashes down inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark him right at the 20 where Greg Toller makes the tackle. Colts are having a tough time with this Bears offense right now. Cutler running a much more efficient offensive set each time he seems to go out there in the field. Jaquiz Rogers is in the ball game as a wide out to the far side. Cutler evades the pressure. Now he's going to run with it. Got a lot of running room down to the 10, and he'll run it out of bounds inside the 10-yard line all the way to the 7, as the Colts had good coverage on the receivers, but nobody covered Cutler.
Totally lost the edge on the right side. Cole is upfield, but they double Perry inside, and he can't get out of it, so they create a big seam in the defense for him to duck up in and run.
And the Chicago Bears are knocking at the Colt door once again. Got a field goal the first time, but threatening here. First and goal at the 7. New running back in the ball game. And he'll get the call. That's Jaquiz Rogers.
That's good play on the stretch play. Really fast fit by Lowry, and that allowed the pursuit then to get over on top of it.
Henry Anderson had something to do with that stop. Rookie out of Stanford.
Yes, he did. That's a good sign right there at the left end there. Good job by Henry. Shuffled down the line, got in on it. Good force from the outside. Made that play hump a little bit.
Forte back in the lineup now, running back. In the backfield with Cutler. Second down and goal. Ball at the 7. Cutler looks for help. He's in trouble, and he's going to get hit, and he'll go down. Jay Cutler gets popped down at the 12-yard line. Eric Walden was in there again.
Real good push inside by Arthur Jones. Extremely good push. Push it up in here. Good pocket distribution. No seams to run. Excellent coverage in the red zone. Got to force a field goal here.
It's third down, but the ball's all the way back down to the 13-yard line. Third and goal. Empty backfield. Cutler awaits the snap out of the shotgun. Colts shifting around defensively. Cutler looks. He comes pressure. Starts to run with it. Flag comes down, and Cutler fights his way into the end zone.
I think they're going to get a hold again.
I think you're right.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty, third down.
And Kyle Long is the guilty party.
Colts are real sluggish, Don, getting lined up. They were trying to go to a little bit different type of nickel package. And, they're late lining up right in here. But again, you see the hold right inside there on 97 by 75. Definitely flagrant hold in that situation. Those are things, obviously, that really help you. Going to get him here, going to get him backed up. And those are things as an offense you got to learn from on both sides. You can't have those kind of penalties in the red zone.
Well, Cutler's never been afraid to stick his nose in there, has he, Coach?
He has not, and he's come out tonight very decisive, very quick. Probably helped him to look at this defense for a couple days. I think they decided that, rather than try to hold the ball, just come out and get it out.
Well, we have time out of the field because the first quarter has come to a close here at Lucas Oil Stadium. It's the Chicago Bears 3, the Indianapolis Colts 0. Well, Colts fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light Party Zone at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Bud Light Party Zone is above the north end zone in front of the windows that open the stadium to the Indianapolis skyline. Proud sponsor of the Indianapolis Colts. And of course, the roof is open here tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium. A beautiful evening in Indianapolis. Has become a little bit more overcast outside, but still nevertheless very pleasant. We've had some great summer days here in the last 3 or 4. Very low humidity, and now it's third down and long for Jay Cutler and the Bears. And an inside handoff to Forte, and he's just going to move it up the field as far as he can to allow Robbie Gould to get into field goal position.
Yeah, this has not been a good start, but in the end, if you can keep them out in the red zone, if you keep that game at 6, then you have a heck of a chance. Just a little counter play. Good job by Freeman. He came around, came underneath the guard. Excellent play on a counter tray.
So now, Goal with his second attempt at a field goal in this game. His first was a 50-yarder. This one will be a mere 38. Kick on its way. And it's good again. And Chicago now has a 6-0 lead as John Fox approves his Chicago Bears on top of the Indianapolis Colts. Soon, Arby's collectible Colts glasses are back. Get Arby's exclusive collectible glasses featuring 2 new Colts players every 2 weeks for $3.99. Well, right now, Coach, Indianapolis got to find a way to shore up the defense.
They really do. There's 2 things that, problematic area. They're struggling in the offensive line protection. And on defense, they're really struggling with the passing game, particularly the inside quick passing game. And there's only one answer to that, Don. You got to play more coverage inside, man-to-man. Right now, Cutler's eating the zone up underneath.
Robbie Gould with a strong kick as Deron Carter will bring it all the way out of the end zone. He was 9 yards back, and he's going to get it out to the 10, but this time he probably shouldn't have come because there was simply not very much running room. So, we are back with the Colts' next possession when we return with the Colts trailing 6-0. Colts fans, something new for you on Sunday mornings. Kick off your Sunday with detailed game analysis from the Huntington Bank Studios Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. on CBS 4 with First Down with Rick Venturi. Coach, I know you're looking forward to that first show.
I really am, and we're going to be breaking down the Buffalo Bills on opening day and trying to create a blueprint for winning that game. We'll do it every Sunday at 8:30 a.m.
Well, right now the Colts will start deep in their own territory at their 11-yard line with Andrew Luck under center, Boom Herron in at the running back spot. Saw a brief glimpse of Frank Gore in the first quarter. Boom came into the last series, and now he gets the other opportunity here as Jack Doyle gets the pass from Andrew Luck. And Jack Doyle has become one of the more reliable tight ends in the game.
Excellent. Little bootleg. They've been running the ball. Excellent. Jack slips out. He's been blocking all day. Now he slips underneath. Andrew, excellent on the move. Easy pickup for 8.
Shea McClellan on the tackle for Chicago, but it brings up 2nd and 4 after a gain of 6. Here's Herring. Boom. Tries the middle. Can't quite get to the first down marker. Gets to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, the Bears are playing these edge guys wide in their 34, with big run stoppers underneath. Now, something that people may keep their eye on, Eddie Goldman, who a lot of people liked around here, is the nose tackle now. He's just entered the game, number 76.
And now Andrew out of the shotgun. 3rd down and 1. Quick sideline throw actually to tight end Dwayne Allen, and Allen comes up with a first down catch.
And that's the advantage when you create those 3rd and short situations. Your efficiency goes up exponentially. This is a little stick route. Just come down and stick it out. And Andrew's very conscious now of getting that ball out quick.
Colts line up very quickly here. 3rd down conversions brought to you by Huntington Bank. As Boom Herring gets the call, trying to find some running room out there. Welcome to the bank that's passionate about doing the right thing. Huntington, the official bank of the Indianapolis Colts.
That's just an inside zone play. For the most part, you're better off just hammering through there and see what you can get about.
2nd down and 8 for Indianapolis. Andre Johnson at the high part of your screen. One of the wide receivers in the ball game. And Andrew looks and tries T.Y. Hilton, who can't quite pull it in. He was open for the pass, and he knows it was his mistake.
Got to make that play. Got to move the chains with that ball. He's got him wide open. He's in the slot situation right here. Straight zone, crack of the zone. Excellent throw. Got to catch the ball. Got to secure it.
And coming into the ball game for the first time in a couple of years now, Vic Ballard. Ballard, number 26, alongside Andrew Luck in the backfield. And Andrews going deep down the field for T.Y. He redeems himself beautifully. What a catch. Kyle Fuller on the defense that time for Chicago. A flag comes down after the play ends. Fuller and Hilton have a little confrontation there. We'll see who it's against. Big play for Indianapolis.
Go route right on Fuller.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, defense number 23. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Why would you taunt in that situation? You just got beat badly.
This is a quarters coverage, which leaves the corner one-on-one. Safety gave him no help, undressed him. Ty got inside on the post. They lost the safety. Excellent throw. Andrew has been sharp as could be here in these first two games.
So the ball resting at the 15-yard line. It is first down for Indianapolis. Big play for the Colts, then a penalty tacked on to boot, and Indianapolis is now in the red zone. Jack Doyle and Dwayne Allen are both to the right side with T.Y. and Andre Johnson, the lone wide receiver, to the left. Now Jack Doyle in motion in the backfield. And here's the handoff, and Vic Ballard gets the call.
Yeah, there's thousands of fans in Indiana playing his co-pilot tonight. Everybody's pulling for him. Good to see him get up there, just hammer it straight ahead.
Eddie Goldman on the tackle. Vic getting his first carry in a couple of years. Last year, of course, the Achilles tear. The year before, a knee ACL. And now back in action. Second down and about 7. Luck looks to the sideline, finds Hilton. He's out of bounds right around the 5-yard line. As Tim Jennings forces him out, but very close to a first down.
Yes, sir. They put Allen and Hilton together, with Hilton on the out cut, Allen downfield inside. They gave up a lot of room. T.Y. good grab.
Third down and 1 as Andrew lines up under center. Quick snap. Looks to throw. Now he's going to run, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. Andrew Luck. He is such a dramatic change from most quarterbacks because he is so big, strong, and fast.
He is absolutely special. He can beat you in the pocket. He's the extra back there. They lose contain. He's sharp enough to get in there. No chance to stop him.
Andrew Luck for the score for Indianapolis, and the Colts have tied this ball game at 6, and Adam Vinatieri on for the extra point to give Indianapolis the lead.
I think we've got a 2-point here.
You're right.
Yeah, preseason 2 points.
Coaches wanting to see this in action, huh?
Yes, sir. 3 wides in there.
Ballard alongside Andrew Luck.
He's looking it over. Man-to-man coverage on Hilton up top.
Dante Moncrief for the game, too. Here's the throw. End zone. Andre Johnson touch or 2-point conversion.
Excellent.
So Indianapolis has taken the lead. You're right, Coach. This is the time to do that, too. Taking a look at a 2-point conversion this early in the preseason.
Excellent. Andre in the slot. Natural rub route. Natural rub route. Andre to the flat. They were in man-to-man coverage. Couldn't pick it off.
The Indianapolis Colts leading the Chicago Bears now 8-6 on that last series, in which Andrew Luck scores on a run to the end zone and then a 2-point conversion, Coach.
Yep, that was what we call a West Coast sprint. He sprinted out to the right, and basically it was a rub. Hilton came in, did a good action job, rubbed him. Andre to the flat. They were in man-to-man coverage. They got rubbed, couldn't get it done.
Perry Sonoris on the return for Chicago, and he breaks the tackle again. The Colts missing a couple of there before Sonoris is brought down across the 25-yard line. Again, that tackling needs to be shored up a bit. Colt Anderson makes the final stop. There is a flag on the play. We're going to hold on here for just a second and see what the flag is all about.
First down, timeout.
Well, apparently the penalty is against Indianapolis. Whatever the case, we'll be back with our next series in a moment. There you see the score. The Colts now leading the Bears. It's now time for the Forum Credit Union question of the game. And tonight's question is, which Indianapolis Colt led the team in interceptions last season? Give you a chance to think about that for a moment as the Chicago Bears take over the football. Good field position after that penalty against Indianapolis on the kick return. The ball is marked at the 42-yard line. So Chicago gets great starting position. And Jay Cutler still in the ball game for Chicago. He hands the ball off. And carrying it was Rodgers.
Good tackle by DeQuell Jackson. Now, Don, you got a couple new corners in the game. Sheldon Price, who played pretty well last week at the right side, and Deshaun Smith on the left side, the young rookie.
And Greg Toller, we're told, has a neck strain. Doesn't appear that it may be anything serious, but he is no longer in the ball game and probably won't return for the rest of the night. 2nd down and 6 for Chicago. Ball just shy of the 47. Cutler hands off again to Rodgers, and Jaquiz Rodgers picks up a 1st down. Nice little run after he bounces off one tackle. DeQuell Jackson finally makes the stop.
Came up a little high. Cole was a little bit high, gave a little bit of a cutback lane. Also, Clayton Geathers is in there at free safety along with Mike Adams.
So lots of new faces coming in for Indianapolis now. Ball resting at the 45 of Indianapolis. Again, the Bears and Jay Cutler getting into Colt territory. Cutler this time fires it down the middle, and a nice catch made out there by Martellus Bennett, who is really a solid receiver at tight end.
Colts are lost on that one. They're a 3 deep. You know, you got to get back in and carry Bennett back in. He was wide open. Linebackers got to get back underneath. Freeman's got to get back underneath with him. There's way too much space back in there.
1st down for Chicago. The ball at the 25 now of Indianapolis. Cutler out of the shotgun. Rodgers in the backfield with him at running back, and he'll get the call. Again, trying the middle, and again he breaks a tackle. Nice job by Rodgers to finish that play, taking the ball inside the 20-yard line before he goes down. Some real popping going on out there by both these ball clubs, and Rodgers supplying some of it there.
Bears getting movement on the right side here. Movement on the right side, don't close, and we're still not crisp tackling. We're in better position, but we're not crisp like we should be.
18-yard line is where the ball is placed. It's 2nd down and 3 for Chicago. Cutler this time under center. And Rodgers again. 1st down run. Takes it across the 15 down to the 12-yard line. This little guy looks impressive, Coach.
He's extremely quick. You know, he's a guy that's really, really good in loose play. He's going to be fighting it out with Jeremy Langford for that number 2 spot behind Forte.
This guy is not very big at all. 5'6", 199 pounds. Cutler now gives to Rodgers again. Picks his hole, finds a little spot to run through, carries it inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line. And he's just going for about 5 or 6 yards every time.
You're going to have to start moving the front. Right now, the Bears' offensive line is dominating. Now, this is the number 2 defense in there totally, but they're dominating. Nobody's really getting off a block. So, you know, pretty soon you got to start moving it, slanting it to try to get underneath these guys.
Ball resting at the 7. Rodgers again. This time he gets hit in the backfield, and they take him down. First man to him was Montorie Hughes. Bjorn Werner finishes him off.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That is a, you know, that's a stunt inside. He's coming right now underneath. A heck of a job hitting him in the backfield.
So nice job that time by Indianapolis's defense. It's 3rd down now at the 9.
Good job by Hughes. Gives you a chance to get off here.
They need to get it to the 2 for a 1st down. Chicago we speak of. 3rd down now. Cutler out of the shotgun. Rodgers alongside of the backfield. Joshua Bellamy is the receiver to the near sideline. And Cutler looking for somebody to throw it to. Throws it out here. Rodgers makes the catch, but he can't get to the 1st down marker. Down about the 7-yard line.
Good stop. Not much pressure. Pretty good coverage. That's the first time there that they really worked one-on-one underneath on the linebacker. 49 held up in there pretty good.
Marlo Herrera made the tackle on the play, and now in to do the kicking is Robbie Gould once again as they spot the ball at the 15-yard line, so a 25-yard field goal try for Chicago.
Herrera continues to flash, Don.
Gold looks for his third field goal of the night. On its way, and it is good. So a 25-yarder this time for Robbie Gould. Chicago retakes the lead by 1. 5:31 rest left here in the second quarter. That was which Indianapolis Colt led the team in interceptions last season, and it was safety Mike Adams with 5 interceptions. Forum Credit Union, your money, your voice. Coach, we had a chance to talk to Mike Adams at our production meeting on Thursday. What a class guy.
What a class guy. And I thought he brought something that we can all learn from, all coaches at any age. You know, we asked Mike, you know, he has always played solidly, but he's played extremely well here. He's risen the level. And the thing that he said to us, if you remember, Don, he said, the coaches here believe me. The people believe in me. I was always looking over my shoulder at Denver. So I think the lesson to be learned is coach your guys hard, drive them, but don't let them get tight.
Ron Carter and Zerlon Tipton. Tipton is the man who will receive it, and he'll bring it out. He's out to the 10-yard line, but he's not going to get much farther than Carter did the last kick return. And this one will get out near the 13-yard line, and that's where Indianapolis will take over 1st and 10 as Jonathan Anderson came down and made the stop on the play. We'll take a look at the scoring recap for Chicago on that last series. And there you see it, a 9-play drive, 51 yards, and Robbie Gould finishes it off with a 3-point field goal, his third of the night from 25 yards out. Matt Hasselbeck is coming to the game at quarterback now for Indianapolis, and that probably means that Andrew Luck's night is finished. Quick sideline throw out here to Philip Dorsett, and Dorsett carries it across the 20-yard line, and there's the lightning in the battle you were talking about, Coach.
Yeah, that he'll rewrite that quick smoke play out there. You play off him, you better get up and tackle him. That's outstanding. It's waiting to happen. It's going to be there.
Amos was the man who made the stop that time, but it's 2nd down and about 2. And Hasselbeck hands the ball off to Boom Herron. And Boom carries it. No gain on the play, or not much more than a half yard, as Jared Allen came up and stiffed it.
Yeah, the Bears are, pretty much sticking with those #1 edge guys. There's a few substitutions, but most of their #1s are in the game.
3rd down and 2. Hasselbeck hands it to Boom again, and this time Boom says, I'm going to get a 1st down out of this, and he's able to. Nice job by Boom Herron. He just pounded up in there. Didn't get a lot, but he got enough. Ball marked down to the 23-yard line, and that's where Indianapolis drive will continue. Try to pick some of the other new faces in there. Joe Wrights is in there right now, Coach.
Wrights is in there. Lewis is still in there now. Harrison's in there at the center spot. Moncrief and Dorsett are the receivers.
And Jack Doyle right now in the H-back position as Hasselbeck drops straight back to throw. Goes down the field, and Dante Moncrief slides in there to make the catch right around the 43-yard line. Had to kind of go back for that one, Coach. A nice reroute there.
Not a good throw, but you see the speed, because Dorsett cleared it out on the right side, and then underneath comes Moncrief. But this defense is cleared out by number 15. Maybe we get a replay on that, and I'll show you what I mean. That's a high-low over.
And here's the whistle blowing the play dead as Hasselbeck was going back to hand the ball off to Boom Herron, or rather Vic Ballard. Ballard came into the ball game. But the play blown dead before it got started. Was there a timeout call? Looks like there was.
Chicago is challenged. The pass was incomplete.
So Chicago challenged that previous pass to Dante Moncrief, apparently. We'll take a look. Well, it looks like he had it there,
solid.
Coach.
Looks solid. But this is where speed comes in. And again, Matt's got to throw a better ball than that. Matt's got to get him that ball where he can run.
Well, there's timeout on the field. That looks like a perfect catch by Dante Moncrief. We'll be back with the decision here in a moment.
A short power to the right side. There's Dwayne right there, losing it. Anytime you get anything on the back of that jersey, they're going to call it, even if it doesn't look like it matters. You've got to keep those hands inside. That's too bad. That was a heck of a cut by Boone. Heck of a jump cut by Boone to get outside.
So the ball comes back to the 33-yard line of Indianapolis, and now you've got 2nd down and 20. Hasselbeck out of the shotgun. Matt looks down the middle, going deep. This time for Dante. Lets him go up and try to get it, and it looks like it's picked off. What a job by Terrence Mitchell, a second-year player out of Oregon who fought Dante Moncrief for that ball and won the jump.
Yeah, that's a straight jump ball. You know, Dante, you got to come up with it. That's up in the air. You got to come up with it, or if you don't come up with it, they don't come up with it.
Take a second look here.
Throws it up there where you got a chance to catch it. You got to aggressively go up and get it.
And it looked like when he went up, Coach, that the ball just kind of got over the top of him a little bit, and he couldn't hang on.
He mistimed it a little bit, Don.
Yep. Jimmy Clausen in for the Bears now at quarterback. 6th-year player out of Notre Dame. And Jaquiz Rogers in there at running back. So Clausen in for the first time tonight. Right now, it's Chicago leading Indianapolis 9-8. And Rodgers gets the handoff, and he continues to be a pain for the Indianapolis Colts defense. Looked like he might be stopped at the line of scrimmage, just kind of waited for his blockers to get in front of him. And Junior Sylvester was finally able to bring him down, but he picks up 4. 2nd down and 6. And Rodgers has been very impressive since he came into the ballgame. Stacked wide receivers on either side. And Rodgers gets the call this time and breaks a tackle to at least get back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he was going to be thrown for a loss. Jorn Werner's going to get credit for the tackle.
Yeah, you had Henry and Newsome. Here's Perry wide open. He beat the center. Just can't break down. There's Newsome right behind him. Good at the line of scrimmage. Got to finish some plays. Got to finish.
That is the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
So we're down to the 2-minute warning here in Indianapolis. Lucas Oil Stadium, Colts and the Bears, and right now the Colts trail by 1. Meyer, the official supercenter of the Indianapolis Colts, will host special Blue Friday events throughout the 2015 season. During every Blue Friday, 23 lucky fans will each win 2 tickets to the upcoming Colts home game. For more information, visit Colts.com/Blue Friday. Rodgers in the backfield with Jimmy Clausen at quarterback for Chicago. It's 3rd down and 5.
Dime defense on with Geathers up at the dime.
Oops. Flags come down. Colts look like they started to come across, and it looked like maybe they were pulled off.
False start.
Yep.
Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Connor Boffelli, first-year player out of Iowa, makes the mistake here, Coach.
Yes, sir. They fake blitz a little bit. Linebacker Herrera walked up in there. Looked like he got jumping. Now we got a nickel defense in there. Deshaun Smith at the nickel here. Got to get off right here.
3rd and 10. Clausen out of the gun. Flings it, and it's picked off. How about that catch there by Sheldon Price for the interception, and out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. Take another look at this one.
This is excellent. This was made about by the front. Now Sheldon is becoming a playmaker in the last 2 games. Basically, this is a weak side blitz. Hopefully we can get a replay on it. They faked coming from the left. They came from the right. Quarterback got confused. He laid it up there. Good finish by Sheldon Price. But this was really a good scheme right here. Fake to the left, blitz 2 to the right. Totally confused the quarterback.
So Indianapolis trying to take advantage of a big break here on Sheldon Price's interception. Matt Hasselbeck with Zerlon Tipton in the ball game at running back. Hasselbeck wants to throw it. Steps up. He's going to get hit, and he'll be sacked on the play. The man on top of him was Willie Young, a linebacker out of North Carolina State in his 6th year with the Bears.
Again, good coverage, no place to throw. The protection eventually broke down.
So now the ball resting back at the 17, make it the 18-yard line. And the Colts will have 2nd and 14. Hasselbeck, quick snap, throws to Dorsett, turns it upfield. Phillip able to get it inside the 15 before he went down. So he got what they lost back, plus a yard or so. And it's going to bring up 3rd down now for Indianapolis. Hasselbeck last week saw quite a bit of playing time. Boom Herron is now checked into the lineup for Indianapolis. Rip Whalen is in at one of the receiver spots with Moncrief on the far side. Dorsett, the lone wide receiver, to the near. Colts trying to regain the lead here. The give as Boom Herron drives his way down near the 5-yard line before he is stacked up. They're going to mark him at the 6, and it's going to be shy of the 1st down by a couple of yards.
Inside what we call a short power with a pull. Pretty good block on the edge by Doyle. Good job on them and a good double team in there. He hammered it in there. 4th down going for it.
Colts going for it here. Boom Herron, the running back behind Hasselbeck.
First charge timeout.
Now they're going to think
Indianapolis.
Going to change it.
30-second timeout.
Yeah, Colts called a timeout, and that's going to give people a chance to decide whether or not they're going to go for it here. Hasselbeck comes to the sideline, and they've sent out Adam Vinatieri. So we do have a timeout on the field. Colts fans, Wick's Sugar Cream Pies are now available at Lucas Oil Stadium. Be sure to pick up your own 4-inch Wick's pie today. Well, Coach, just 2 seconds left here in the 1st half. Colts are trailing by a point. They rethink it. They're going to go for the field goal.
Yeah, they really are. And, you know, even though they've struggled on defense tonight, Don, they've been strong in the red zone, and they give themselves a chance to lead at the half right now.
Here's the snap. Kick by Vinatieri is up, and it is good. And Adam Vinatieri gives the Indianapolis Colts the lead at halftime. The score reads Indianapolis 11, the Chicago Bears 9 at the break, and obviously the Colts trailing a good portion of this 1st half, able to come up with the lead here at the very end at halftime. And obviously there are things to work on, Coach, but you always like to see the scoreboard read your team on top.
Well, you really do.
Let's go down to the sideline to Steve Anderson, the coach.
Hey, Coach, bit of a slow start for the offense, but ended with 8 points for your first team. How do you think your O-line in particular responded on that drive?
Well, it was good to see him come back, 10-play drive and score the touchdown there. Got a big play on that drive to T.Y. Obviously got it going. We were battling poor field position, the whole 1st half. Special teams, we had a few penalties that got us backed up. Proud of the defense. Defense did a great job holding the three field goals. Got a fast start there. Just got to continue it in the 2nd half.
Against Matt Forte, your rushing defense, in particular David Perry, what'd you see?
They did a nice job. I don't know what the numbers are, but there was a few things, zone read stuff, but I thought they did a nice job.
Thank you, Coach. Guys.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it very much. We are at halftime here at Lucas Oil Stadium as the Indianapolis Colts take the lead over the Chicago Bears on an Adam Vinatieri field goal to end the 1st half. We'll be back with our halftime show right after these messages. Welcome back to Lucas Oil Stadium, where Indianapolis leads as we're about ready to start the 2nd half by an 11-9 count. Adam Vinatieri with a field goal to end the 1st half, giving Indianapolis the lead. And now Chicago will be kicking off to start the 2nd half. Back deep for the Colts. We have Tyler Vargas, one of the men back there, along with Josh Robinson. And here comes the kick. And it'll be Varga who'll bring it out. And he will bring it from the end zone about 8 yards deep. Takes it right up the middle of the field, breaks the tackle, and busts across the 20-yard line before they're able to spill him. The man of the stop, Matthew Wells, for Chicago, but a nice return by Varga, Coach.
Yeah, it's not 1st and 90. That's my book, 1st and 90. That field position will kill you.
Nice job by Varga. Josh Robinson moves into the running back spot with Matt Hasselbeck in the backfield for Indianapolis to start the 2nd half. Dorsett in the slot to the right. Vincent Brown is also back in there. at the wide receiver spot to the near side. Griff Whalen, I believe, to the far. And Hasselbeck hands off to Josh Robinson, who takes it right up the middle of the field. After making a nice cut to the left, and he came back to the right, Coach. He's got some movement to him.
He loses no ground. He's always moving forward.
Stop made by Will Sutton, and the gain made to the 30-yard line makes it 2nd and 2. Now Hasselbeck out of the shotgun. And Robinson again. And he's got the first down and then a couple to boot as he takes it out near the 34-yard line. Josh Robinson was very impressive in week 1 and looks to be starting the same way in week 2.
Very good start.
Brown and Griff Whalen, wideouts far and near side. And on first down, Robinson gets the call again. And again going forward, but this time flags come down from behind, and that may indicate a holding violation.
Holding, offense number 76, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that's the veteran Joe Wrights who gets called for the penalty, the 5th-year man out of Western Michigan.
This is an excellent cutback, but you see you lost control, and then it was very, very obvious in that situation. You know, the thing about Robinson, though, he shook it back, and then he got right back upfield. This kid gains ground quickly.
So the ball comes back to the 24-yard line. And the Colts have a long way to go on this first down. First and about 20. Hasselbeck. Flag comes down early. The ball deflected to the ground, and a nice defensive play there by Mason Foster, 5th-year linebacker out of Washington. Unrestricted free agent from Tampa Bay, signed by the Bears here just a month ago.
Offside, defense number 99, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So the defense gets called for one there, and Indianapolis gets a free play out of it. Ball comes out to the 29-yard line. That'll make it 1st and 15 now for Indianapolis. Whalen splits short to the near side. Dorsett is one of the wide receivers to the far. Vincent Brown the other. Hand off to Josh Robinson right up the middle. And the little back powers his way forward all the way to the 39-yard line before Foster, the linebacker, could bring him down for Chicago.
Excellent call. The Bears were coming hard on pass rush, and all of a sudden you got cracks up in there. Excellent call. Nice draw running.
So now you've got 2nd and a very manageable 5. And Robinson again. Just pads his way forward, and again flags all over the place in the backfield. Eddie Goldman makes the tackle.
Holding, offense number 65, 10-yard penalty, second down.
David Arkin gets called for the penalty.
Second penalty in 2 weeks.
And 2 holding calls this drive.
Oh my goodness.
So now the ball spotted at the 29.
Here's Arkin on the pull. Bit of a takedown.
2nd and 15 now for Indianapolis.
It's no walk in the park with Houston and Young on the outside. Those guys have played a lot of football, have a lot of sacks in the National Football League.
Hasselbeck, little dump pass to Robinson. Breaks one tackle, can't break the second. Nice defensive play by Brandon Dunn to hang on. First-year player out of Louisville. And brings down Josh Robinson, who takes the football almost to the 35-yard line. And it brings up 3rd down and about 9.
Protection's going to be the key here, Don. Protection on the edges.
Robinson also did a good job in picking up a blitz last week. So he understands that's part of his role too. Here's the throw. Griff Whalen, the intended receiver. And probably with a better shot at it was DeMontre Hurst, but a nice job by Griff Whalen out there, coach, to make sure he didn't catch it.
It really was. That's a good compete. You know, when you mention, you keep talking about Robinson, you keep checking the boxes. Everything that he's asked to do, he ends up coming out of the other end pretty well. He did. He protected last week. He shook. He caught. Running the draw tonight. A lot of good things there.
A.J. Cruz is back deep to receive this Pat McAfee punt. Cruz, a rookie out of Brown. And this one coming down. Cruz at the 21. And he did not call for a fair catch. A flag does come down, however. And the ball will be marked at the 24-yard line, but let's check the flag here.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 46. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
So a penalty against the Chicago Bears will push them farther back. We have timeout of the field, and we'll be back with the possession in a moment. Indianapolis Colts football is brought to you by Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly. They got a nighttime shot of downtown Indianapolis. The skyline, beautiful at night. And of course here inside Lucas Oil Stadium, good crowd on hand tonight for the Colts. Here in the third quarter of play, leading Chicago 11-9. Bears get possession at their own 12-yard line, 1st and 10. And Jimmy Clausen in at quarterback. Jeremy Langford is now the running back for Chicago. Langford gets the call, gets tripped up. A flag comes down late, and all of a sudden we're having a rash of flags here in the third quarter.
The good news there, heck of a job by Henry Anderson. Really feeling Anderson tonight. We didn't last Sunday, but you're starting to feel him tonight. He forced the hold.
So holding against Chicago puts the ball back at the 6-yard line now. We'll take a look at that holding violation.
See, there's so much penetration that he forces the hold. He beats him terribly in here. This is encouraging tonight for Anderson.
Langford stays in a running back. Clausen under center for Chicago. And Langford gets the handoff. Stiff arms his way out near the 8 or 9 yard line where he's rushed out of bounds. And they're going to spot it at the 9. So a short gain of the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and long now for Chicago. 2nd and 13.
Cam Johnson in there for the first time here in this series on the right edge, number 59.
Bellamy is the wide out to the high part of your screen. Here's a quick throw out here to the sideline, and the catch made out there by Bellamy. My apology, that's Rashad Lawrence who makes the catch. Junior Sylvester comes up and makes the tackle for Indianapolis. Shy of the first down. So they'll bring up 3rd down and 3 now. The ball resting at the 19-yard line of Chicago.
Big situation to get off right here and gain field position. 3rd and short, you got a bunch. Look for some kind of rub route.
Shotgun for Clausen. He takes the snap and finds his man. And that is Rashad Lawrence.
There it was, the bunch. They came across. They picked for Lawrence coming across. He's going to come across on a drag route. Here comes the rub right there. Linebackers get a little bit lost. That's the problem in 3rd and 2. No margin for error.
So 1st down for Chicago. They retain possession. Clausen goes back to work out of the shotgun. Hands to Langford. Langford finds a little hole up the middle and picks up a nice 5-yard run of the play. Stop made by Junior Sylvester once again. He's had 3 or 4 tackles tonight already.
Very active 44, very active Herrera. Again, Perry's in the game with Anderson, with Werner and with Newsom. So there's some young guys that you want to see produce here.
Under center. Clausen once again. Now might take that back. No, it is Clausen. Thought I saw a different number down there. Hand off to Langford, but he has stopped short of the 1st down.
Yeah, you're right. Sylvester, 5 tackles so far, so he has been active.
Take another look at this play here as Langford gets stopped.
This is very good play on the cutback.
But now the 1st down run. The Bears able to retain possession as they are able to block upfield and make a nice little running spot there for Langford, who carries for the 1st and 10.
You got to get a little bit more disruptive on 1st down. You got to stay out of those 2nd and 5s. Some action going Here.
Clausen will work out of the shotgun. Langford Lines up to his right and gets the handoff, and he's got a hole. Langford finds a big hole, and he may go. Langford down to the 25 of the Colts before he's caught up to and brought down from behind. And the tackle made out there by DeJohn Smith.
Yeah, just when we talked about Sylvester, he blitzes off the edge and he comes way too high. Opens up the cutback. Colt Anderson misses the tackle. Big play now there in the red zone.
So the Bears get a big play out of Langford.
Mistake and then a missed tackle.
Kadeem Carey has come into the running back spot. Clausen in the shotgun. And Carey will get the call. He tries the middle. He gets tripped up by Colt Anderson on the play. And brought down almost immediately after taking the handoff. They'll spot it down at the 15-yard line. Second down and about 8.
Little confusion out there. It gets tough when they're running personnel in and out with that second unit.
Bellamy is the wide receiver. Low part of your screen. 3 receivers to the right. Bellamy is who Clausen's trying to go for, and there's a flag thrown, and it may be pass interference against Sheldon Price.
Price got him just outside the 5-yard jam. He started out with a good jam. Now you got to get off him at 5.
2 fouls in the play. Holding, defense number 40. Pass interference, offense number 80. The penalty's offset. Second down.
So offsetting penalties, coach, it kind of negates the play. We'll see a replay of it here.
See, it all happened right at the 5-yard area. He had a good jam initially, but then you got to get those hands off him as he gets into the stem of the route. They're going to get that.
But the penalty puts the ball back at the 15-yard line. Second down now and 8. Kadeem Carey, the running back, takes the handoff, tries up the middle. Colts stuff it, but Carey keeps his legs underneath him and pounds his way forward. That's a pretty good run with about 4 or 5 guys all over him.
Well, these running backs, they did it a week ago, and they're doing it again tonight. There's tremendous competition with the Bears. These guys are battling. And again, they just get movement too high out here on the outside, and they get their pad level into yours and drive you back. You're going to win. You got to get that pad level down.
Third down and 5 for Chicago. Clausen in an empty backfield, ready to take the snap. 5 receivers split wide. Throw, caught out there. Catch made by Joshua Bellamy, and he takes it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Same exact thing that we scored on to Andre Johnson. Outside in rub route off a spread formation. Man-to-man coverage on the outside. You'll see the outside receiver come in, make a little pivot move. Inside receiver shoot to the flat. 2 defenders get picked. He's out there in the flat wide open.
So Chicago retakes the lead now over the Colts at 15-11, and Robbie Gould will come in.
The important thing there is when 2 receivers are close to one another, and if you're going to play straight man, you're not going to combo those guys, then the corner that's on the on guy has to jam him, and the other guy's got to get off so that you're never in the same level, because if you end up in the same level, they're going to rub you and it's not even going to show.
And Robbie Gould for the extra point, and he knocks it through. And so the score now reads Chicago 16, Indianapolis 11, with 6:26 to go here in the third quarter. The Bears retake the lead. Back here at Lucas Oil Stadium, call Jonathan Bird's Catering for all of your catering needs at 317-881-8888. Catering by Jonathan Bird's. Feast, friends, fun. Well, Robbie Gould will kick off for Chicago after the Bears retake the lead. 16-11 on Indianapolis, as Josh Robinson and Tyler Varga again are 1-2 back there in the end zone. Colts have had a couple of guys back there a good part of tonight. They did have Duron Carter back there one time by himself, but the rest of the night they've used 2 backs, coach, to receive. That's a little bit unusual.
Yeah, it really is. Varga really hammered it up in there. He'll do that. You got 2 guys, I guarantee you, will get the ball north and south back there. Robinson has been impressive again tonight.
That he has. A guy that last week probably played as well as anybody on the field in his playing time, and this week kind of doing exactly the same thing. Right now, Robbie Gould ready to kick. Boots this one deep. It'll be Varga once again from about 8 yards deep in the end zone. And takes it straight up the field again, but this time unable to get it to the 20 as he gets it to about the 16 or 17 yard line, where John Timu brings him down. We'll be back in a moment with the Colts possession. Chicago has the lead, and there's the drive that did it for them. 10 plays, 88 yards, 5 minutes and 28 seconds. And of course the touchdown throw by Jimmy Clausen went to Joshua Bellamy, and the Bears have the lead here. Citizens Energy Group bringing you our scoring recap as Indianapolis now tries to take over and come right back in this ball game, down 16-11. First and 10, Josh Robinson in the ball game. Matt Hasselbeck at quarterback. And Robinson gets the call, immediately pops across the 20-yard line, carries out to maybe around the 21 or 22. And Brock Vereen is involved on the stop for Chicago. Let's go to the field for the Toyota Sideline Report with Steve Andrus.
Here with safety Mike Adams. And Mike, what's it been like getting used to playing with Dwight Lowry? It looks like so far a pretty good start for you guys, especially tonight.
Yes, it's good getting out there with him and just playing a little bit more. You know, we're just getting acclimated, we did a lot of great things. We held him to 3 field goals, so I think that's a plus for the defense itself.
One thing I love about Mike, everybody, is that he's trying to broaden his horizons. Tell us a little bit about the NFL broadcasting camp that you did last year, and if you'd like to ask me a question, by all means.
Well, first of all, you're too far away. That's what I learned in the broadcast boot camp.
So closer with the mic?
You got to be closer.
Wow, okay.
And you invaded my space, which I don't like, and I didn't know that.
I'm going to take a step back.
No, we good. It was a great job. Those guys taught me a lot of stuff during that broadcast boot camp. Learned the teleprompter, the debating, like skipping. My boy skipping. What's his guy name? Okay, Stephen A. Those guys. We started doing that, and it was a whole lot of fun.
All right, Mike, we have an injury on the field. Thank you so much for joining us, though. Much appreciated. Be back in just a moment with an update on that injury here in the second half.
Philip Dorsett, who is the man that was injured on that last play after making a really fine catch for a first down out to the 30-yard line. And so he is on the sideline, brought out. He was on his own power. He didn't limp too much out there, but they were looking at that right leg. And now back in the ball game. Colts back in action here, and Matt Hasselbeck rolling to his right, throwing downfield. Vincent Brown with a catch just across the 40-yard line, around the 42, and a nice grab there by Vince Brown. We're going to take a look once again here at the Dorsett injury.
Yep, he's in the slot. Just gets tangled up in there. It looks like he get tangled up and grabbed that right leg.
Yeah, I looked at the right knee is what he grabbed at initially. And that's what they were looking at on the sideline as well. Whatever the case, Colts get another first down at 42-yard line. Hasselbeck on a rollout that last time. Matt, this time going nowhere. Didn't see the pressure coming from behind. The nice job by Sam Cho, linebacker, 5th year, Texas.
Yeah, we're having trouble on the edges. I said that would be the key, and we have not won that battle. That time, Acho, who had a big game last week, had a sack and a pick, came over the top of Wrights and was able to make the sack.
And we had some activity down there, too. Eddie Goldman was involved. I'm not sure who the Colts were involved with.
Here he comes off the edge. See, you know, Wrights has got to set, and he's got to push him past the quarterback. The Bears have done a good job when they get to the edge of then cutting it down to the quarterback. Tackles have to be firmer, have to push them out of there. But I told you, this is the strength of this team, of the Bear team, is on the edges.
The previous play is under review.
So they're going to take a look at the previous play now. One of the Colts and Goldman got into it on the bottom of that scrum. And I couldn't quite tell who the Colt was. There was an 8 on the uniform. That's all I can tell you.
At the very end, it looks like Harrison's coming in there.
Take another look here. I just can't quite tell.
They're just scuffling. They're just scuffling. That's football. The bad news is, again, that's the lot of pressure off that edge tonight. Every one of our tackles has had issue. That's something that's got to, that's got to get fixed.
Take one more look at it here.
Again, you don't see him. He comes out of the picture, but he's running the corner, and then he cuts down to the quarterback. That's when a tackle's got to have strength as well as speed and push him out of there.
Well, you know who was hassling in there was Hasselbeck.
It was there you go.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Chicago.
So they ruled a fumble. They've ruled a fumble. And so the fumble gives the ball to Chicago at the 32-yard line. Wow. That's a turn of events. Dorsett had 3 catches tonight for 21 yards when he went out of the ball game. But Chicago leading 16-11 right now with 4:38 to go here in the quarter. Langford is the running back. Clausen continues to quarterback Chicago here at this point. Both teams shifting around. And Clausen hands to Langford. Langford's going no place this time. Penalty flag comes in. Well, apparently not.
Jared Pendleton was really strong on that. Again, we've got to fight a nose tackle. One of these guys has got to emerge, and Pendleton was very tough on that play. Got penetration, got the guy down, looked big lead.
Second down and 10, no gain on the play.
Odongo and Johnson on the edges now.
Quick throw, nice catch out there by Cameron Meredith, and he's got himself a first down inside the 20-yard line. Very quick opening play.
That's a little tunnel screen where you come back underneath, you create a tunnel for him, and you block those guys. That's very effective against the press because you can get 2 blockers and let him run back for daylight. You see that in the college game all the time.
Clayton Gathers was involved in that tackle along with Sheldon Price. And now Langford. And he breaks one tackle, cuts to the outside, gets it down inside the 5 before the Colts are able to bring him to the turf.
Colt Anderson's having a tough day out there. He had the big miss on the first long play by Langford. Now he's got a miss right in the hole.
Clayton Gathers and Sylvester make the stop on this play at the 4-yard line, but it's first and goal now for Chicago. And they're taking advantage of the turnover by Indianapolis. First and goal at the 4. Trying to add to their 4-point or 5-point advantage. And now Clausen's going to call timeout.
First charge timeout, Chicago. 30-second timeout.
This one won't be a long one, but let's go down to Steve Andrus on the sideline and quick injury update. Steve?
Gentlemen, it was a knee injury for first-round pick wide receiver Philip Dorsett. The good news, he is probable to return.
So obviously just maybe connected with somebody else's knee, whatever the case, a bruise type thing.
That's what I thought. He looked more tangled. It didn't look like a torque injury.
So that is really good news.
Really good news.
There you see him on the sideline. 5'10" rookie is just absolute extraordinary talent. Now the Bears, first and goal at the 4. And Langford trying to find running room on the right. Able to pick up a couple down to the 2-yard line. Jarrett Pendleton again on the tackle.
Pendleton is making his presence felt in there. Very, very solid.
Now the Colts have done a nice job for the most part tonight in the red zone. But now they're really being put to the test.
You got the rub route on 3rd down. I think they'll try to run it again here. Jumbo personnel in the game. That's big people. All tight ends.
Flag comes down.
First charge timeout, Indianapolis. prior to the delay of game foul.
The difficulty sometimes in the second
30-second timeout
of a preseason game is running personnel with your 2s and 3s who are not used to those fluid movements. You end up having to take a timeout to make sure you don't have too many on the field.
Well, Colts fans were invited to gather on the north side of Lucas Oil Stadium for the American Family Insurance Touchdown Town, a pregame party area for fans of all ages. American Family Insurance, insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Declare your dreams at amfam.com/dreams.
Goal line defense.
Ball at the 2. Langford hits hit, bounces the other way, and takes it into the end zone for the score. And the Chicago Bears have put 6 more on the board, but the Colts had him stopped and couldn't contain him.
He is a terrific young back. This is going to really pay dividends for the Bears. You got him right in your gun sight, and you can't make the play.
Wow. Gathers finally brought him down, but it was too late. And Indianapolis gives up another score. The second touchdown by the Bears here in the second half. Robbie Gould.
Well, you saw Langford a lot, Don. He was certainly one of my favorites. You know, once you got out of that top 3, he was actually my 4th guy in the draft. So tonight's performance is not surprising me a bit.
Played at Michigan State, of course, as most Big Ten fans know. That kick was good. And he was kind of behind the 8 ball last year from a perspective of notoriety because of a couple of other guys in front of him. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Speedway will donate $1,000 to Riley's Children Foundation for every Colts touchdown pass this season. Speedway, the official convenience store of the Colts. All right, now the game's in the hands of the Chicago Bears. 2 minutes left here in the third quarter of play. The Bears have taken 23-11 lead over Indianapolis. And the Colts, with a mistake earlier, giving up a touchdown to Chicago, and now another.
Mistakes, turnovers, and missed tackles down the second half.
Here's the kick. This time Varga will catch it out of the end zone and not be able to run this one back. So it'll come out to the 20, and the Colts will take over 1st and 10. And we're going to have another new quarterback after we take a look here at the scoring drive, brought to you by Citizens Energy Group. John Fox there on the sideline for Chicago. Has to be pretty pleased with his ball club's performance tonight. Certainly they won their opening preseason game last week against Miami 27-10. Right now they have a handle on this one. Brian Bennett has come into the ball game at quarterback for Indianapolis. Works out of the shotgun formation. Zerlon Tipton is back there with him. And a quick throw is knocked down. And we're going for Griff Wayland, and that's who it looked like Brian Bennett was going for. And that ball gets batted down by David Bass. And now let's go down to the sideline for a Toyota sideline report from Steve Andrus.
One of the new faces on this 2015 Colts roster, defensive lineman Kendall Langford. Kendall, I know from talking to you at training camp, there's something in particular about this defense that makes you think it fits in, right? It's a little different from what you saw in St. Louis.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole different scheme. It's a 3-4 defense, and like I've been saying since I've been here, I'm just happy to be back here, and I feel like I'm at home. And this guy right here, Art Jones, has done a great job of welcoming me here, and along with the rest of the guys.
He's fitting in pretty good, right, Art?
Absolutely. I'm happy to have him here. The guy, he's awesome, man. We'll feed off each other, and we're going to have a great year this year.
What is it about him and the rest of the unit that has made it so welcoming for you? Because I know you've mentioned that multiple times so far.
I'm just in the room with a good group of guys, great guys, and, they do whatever they can. We push each other, we feed off each other like Art just mentioned. It's like, I felt like I've known these guys for years, and
that was nice of him.
No mushy moment, but that's just the feel I got.
How'd he do tonight?
Oh, he did a great job. I'm excited to watch the film, and it's always a room for improvement for both of us, and we feed off each other. And I'm excited to have a guy like him, a guy who have energy and is passionate about the game of football. And man, I tell you, man, 90 and 97, we're gonna have a fun year this year.
Oh yeah.
That sounded like coach speak. You buying that assessment?
Hey, he's speaking the truth. He's speaking the truth, man. I mean, we're the oldest guys in the room, but at the same time, we still feel like we're young, and
You know, we both students of the game, and we helping the younger guys out, and we still helping each other out. You know, the coaches out there on the field when, you know, our coach can't be there.
Kendall Langford and special guest Art Jones. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Those guys look like they're still having fun. I don't think there was any fun in that last pass play for Brian Bennett to Vincent Brown, however, Coach.
Big drop by Vincent. You know, this team, you know, with the exception of Andrew and company, they're really having a tough time executing the passing game. Not throwing it real well, not catching it very well.
Here's A.J. Cruz receiving this punt from McAfee. Has to go backwards, got tripped, and he will go down. Back around the 21-yard line. He started backwards, and that's always a mistake, as the Colts come up with a nice stop on special teams. Well, Meyer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts, will host special Blue Friday events throughout the 2015 season. During every Blue Friday, 23 lucky fans will each win 2 tickets to the upcoming Colts home game. For more information, visit Colts.com/Blue Friday. Well, now Chicago has the ball at their own 21-yard line. Clausen back in there at quarterback. Kadeem Carey is the running back. Second-year player out of Arizona for Chicago. Clausen with a quick sideline throw out there. And a catch made by Rashad Lawrence. And he just won't go down easily either. And there's a flag thrown at the end of the play, and that may be a late hit.
Deshaun Smith missed tackle. And then Adongo comes out there with great hustle. But it looks like he's going to tackle him out of bounds.
Roughness. Defense number 56. Late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So Daniel Adongo gets hit with the penalty, and the Colts get...
There's the miss. You know, now you're out of bounds. All right, let him go.
Yep.
Let him go.
You got to do that.
I mean, you're on Illinois Street there. You got to let him go.
So the ball resting at the 45-yard line. And Chicago on the move once again. Jimmy Clausen doing a nice job of running the Bears' second unit tonight. And here is Carey. Another nice run. Bears are just really pounding the Colts.
This happened in the second half last week. The Bears have played much better tonight than they did against the Dolphins. But in the second half, all these running backs had good days. There's no edge to the defense. Cam Johnson goes down inside. He goes chasing rainbows, as we say, on an inside play. Carey bounces it outside.
So now you've got 2nd down and 1. The Bears are on the move. Taking a long time here. Clausen go to the sideline. We're about at the end of the 3rd quarter. That's why. They'll let the 3rd quarter come to a close.
The end of the 3rd quarter.
And the Chicago Bears, a commanding 23-11 lead over Indianapolis, with just 15 minutes of football remaining here tonight, as the Colts have a 2nd straight week where their 2nd and 3rd units are struggling a little bit. We'll be back in a moment. Bear leaders, there as you see the score, the Bears leading Indianapolis. The Indianapolis Colts and the Anthem Angels have teamed up to honor those who are making a difference off the field, and we need your help in finding these hometown heroes. Just go to www.colts.com/Anthem Angels to nominate someone you know who is helping others in our community. We will recognize a different Anthem Angel at each home game this season. Your big playmaker may be one of them. Right now, the Colts need to find a big playmaker on defense. It's 2nd down and 1 at the 46-yard line. And on cue, Carey gets knocked backwards. Nice job by the Colts defense there. Zach Kerr makes the stop on the play. Like Carey ran into a roadblock there.
Don't take him out.
As he heads to the sideline, right?
We're looking for somebody to stop us in there.
3rd down and about 3 now for Chicago. Clausen moves into a shotgun formation, empty backfield.
He knows he's got man coverage here, so they rub it.
And he throws it poorly. Kind of off the back foot of Mark Mariani.
Yeah, they weren't fluid on that one. They were going to, on that 3rd and short, they were going to go run that rub again. One thing, if you notice, they put the running back outside, and when the linebacker goes out to cover him, then you tell everybody you're in man-to-man coverage, and that can be dangerous.
So it's going to force Chicago for a rare time tonight to punt the ball. Patrick O'Donnell will boot it away. Griff Whalen is the man deep for Indianapolis. Bet O'Donnell's going to try and pin this one inside the 10. And this one's going to be way short of that. Griff Whalen will fair catch it at about the 18-yard line. So not a very good punt by O'Donnell, as the Colts will take over possession and try to get something going offensively. And a Farm Bureau Insurance. Coach?
Oh, this is a good one. This is the pick. This is a bluff here of the linebacker. Get the line to turn this way, and then bring the safety and the linebacker the other way, forcing the quarterback to throw when he's not ready to throw. You've got 2-on-1 pressure, ends up in an interception. That's a creative defense. You're seeing a lot of that. We call that fire zone defense. Zone coverage behind it. Nice pick by Sheldon, set up by the blitz.
That's today's defensive coverage presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Get the coverage you need and stop knocking on wood. You saw a shot of Sheldon Price, who made that pick. And here's the handoff. And Boom Herron, I believe, carries the pigskin up across the 20-yard line, or was it Josh Robinson? That was Josh Robinson. So Josh with a carry. Going to pick up 2 or 3 on that play. It's about as short a yardage as he's picked up tonight, and he got 3 out of it. Guy is always going forward and always with momentum. Really, really good balance. Brian Bennett at quarterback, hands to Robinson, almost broke that one.
As you speak, that kid gets north and south. The thing I like about him is he's so decisive. There's no lost motion. Boom, right downfield. A little bit of a crack, he's downfield.
Anthony Jefferson made the stop for Chicago. Colts, however, get a first down. Their own 29-yard line. And Bennett hands to Josh again. Robinson this time he doesn't have any place to go. He'll pick up 1.5 yards on the play, but there was simply nothing there as Mason Foster came up to fill the hole.
They're going to make you passing. I think they're going to take away Josh. They're going to make you throw it.
Not the only way to stop that guy is to put 8 in the box,
That's
right?
right. They had 100 in the box on that one, I tell you.
Second down, 9 for Indianapolis. Bennett in the shotgun. Hands it off to Josh again, and Josh just makes it happen. When you give him the football, he gets an opportunity. He carries for 7 this time. Jonathan Bostic on the tackle for Chicago.
This kid knows what to do. I think you may see him next week in St. Louis, get some reps, with that first unit. He's played pretty doggone well here.
He really has. 2 straight ball games now. He has been a highlight. Third down and 2. They know he's coming this time, and he still picks up the first down. And probably about 4 more yards on top of it would make it 5. Josh Robinson just running over people. Lewis Jean makes this tackle for Chicago, but it's a first down for the Colts. They're moving the football.
Resume's getting deeper.
I don't know how you look at a guy like this, and he just looks special out there. He just does.
That's why I say, Don, you really want to see him in that first quarter in a game, just to see him with the playing speed of the top guys, to be honest with you. There's nothing that he hasn't done for us in these first 2 games. Everything we've asked him to do, receiving, blocking, running, has been outstanding. What you'd now like to see is just get him into prime time and take a look.
Shot a shot of Frank Gore there talking on the sideline. I know he is impressed with this young man.
He's somewhat like Frank. He's that compact, hit the hole, hug it and go. Oh.
And this time is the first time tonight that he's been dropped for a loss, maybe a yard. Sam Ochoa makes the tackle on the play. That may be the telecaster's jinx, Coach. We just talked too much about it.
Well, the jinx was the right guard. He totally flashed on Ocho. Ocho's having a great camp for these guys as well.
Robinson with 11 carries tonight for about 55 yards.
See if he can execute the passing game.
Brian Bennett throws the ball, incomplete.
That is a no.
So the Colts on 3rd down are going to have to turn it over as they throw an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down, and Pat McAfee is on to punt the ball away. 10:22 left here in the 4th quarter. Colts trailing 23-11. A.J. Cruz is back deep as McAfee comes onto the field. Comes the kick on its way. Pat trying to drive this one up in the air, and this one's very short too. And a nice play by A.J. Cruz to come running up to make the catch. And again, the Bears will get decent field goal position or field play position on the punt by Pat McAfee. Be sure to visit the Bud Light Tailgate tent across the street just north of the stadium for pregame fun and $3 Bud Lights. Make the Bud Light tent your place before the game. Well, the Bears back in possession of the football. 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. And Jimmy Clausen back on at quarterback for Chicago. Carey is the running back out of the shotgun. Clausen fires the ball. Caught over here by Cruz. And A.J. Cruz runs himself out of bounds over around the 34-yard line. Colt Anderson had the coverage on the play, or at least forced him out of bounds. And it's going to put the football down around the 30-yard line. Let's go down to the sideline. Toyota sideline report with Steve Ambrose.
Joined by starting tight end Dwayne Allen. And Dwayne, I feel like you've been asked about this a million times already, but he's slimmer, he's leaner. I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I am a married man, but obviously that has paid off for you so far this year.
Definitely, so far. You know, one of the things that I try to focus on is, you know, making sure that I don't lose any of the tenacity in the run blocking or pass protection game because of the weight loss. And so far I haven't. You know, the Bears have a heck of a defensive line, and we're able to do a lot of good things tonight, but I believe we also were able to capitalize.
Only a couple of snaps the first game. You guys had a little bit more than a quarter this time. What would you tell fans watching this offense in the preseason? How would you tell them to view the offense right now with so many expectations, I should say?
Understand that it's a process, and you know the first game isn't until September 13th. So we're continuing to mesh throughout the preseason, and we're getting better. I feel like each outing. Like you said, we only had a couple snaps the first game. We got a little bit more this game, and we'll have our share against St. Louis next week. So we're coming together little bit by little bit. But it's a process, so hang in there with us.
Lastly, you mentioned that your blocking hasn't suffered losing weight. How has the speed translated on the field from what you've seen so far? Give me a specific example of how the speed is helping now.
You know, whether it's getting onto the defenders quicker or really getting down the field and getting on the edge of the defense. A lot with route running, you know, happens whenever you...
Dwayne saves my life.
I got you, don't worry. But, you know, a lot of route running happens on edges, and you have to have the speed enough to get on the edges of the defenders. And so far this preseason, I've been able to get on the edge a couple times more than I would have if I was heavier.
All right, Dwayne, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back in just a moment here in the second half.
The Bears leading the Colts 23-11. Got distracted by those cheerleaders, Coach. Sorry about that. 1st and 10 right now for Indianapolis. At the 25-yard line as Brian Bennett goes to work. Hands the ball off. Josh Robinson once again carries. Very close to a 5-yard gain. Mason Foster on the tackle for Chicago. As Josh Robinson.
One thing about it, I mean, you know, Chuck's going to let him get every opportunity to show what he can do. Well, you don't do that with a guy unless you like him. Right. I'll tell you that.
I agree. Deron Carter split to the near side of the field, the lower part of your screen. Robinson again just takes it right up the middle. This time not much there. Picks up a yard or a yard and a half, and it's going to bring up 3rd down at about 4 for Indianapolis. Lost his helmet on that one, but he's such an intriguing story. Just 5'8", 221, a power back. but he's got great quickness, speed, and great vision, Coach. That's the
he
thing
really
that
does.
impresses you.
And you know, the three things that you got to see: pass protection, pass receiving, and shake. You know, that you don't know about until you have him, and we've seen that. You can check those boxes.
Robinson came out of the game, lost his helmet on the last play. Zerlon Tipton replaces him. Here's a throw to Duron Carter, who cannot pull it in. Brian Bennett threw the ball in traffic, and a nice effort by Carter, but he could not grab it. Al Lewis-Jean had the coverage on the play.
This is just a little what we call a smash route. You clear for him, bring him underneath, and the ball is behind him. There was coverage underneath. Honestly, the passing game, with the exception of Andrew and the top guys, really there's been very little execution 2 weeks in a row.
A.J. Cruz is back to receive this punt by McAfee, and Pat gets in a little wobbler this time. Out to the 27, picked up in there by Cruz, who gets upended as he crosses the 30 by Deveron Carr, second-year player out of Arizona State. And there's a timeout of the field here momentarily, but we'll keep it here with the Bears right now leading Indianapolis with 7:16 to go in this football game, Coach. It again, like last week, the second half has just not been very good from an execution standpoint.
It really hasn't. You've had mistakes, you've had penalties, inability to throw and catch the football, you know, and the defense has just been in and out. So, you know, it hasn't been very good. You know, hopefully. Right now, the depth on this team does not look really good. You know, but hopefully once you get the A team together for a full 60 minutes, you can maximize your team.
Well, it's now time to review a great route courtesy of Allegiant Air, and that route tonight belonged to a wide receiver by the name of Andre Johnson. That two-point conversion, Coach. Take a look at it.
This was an outstanding play. He's in the slot. T.Y. comes in, sets a bit of a rub for him, and Andre is out the gate there. Andre is going to be able to line up all over the place, in the slot, on the outside. He's going to be the spot-up receiver.
Well, that great route was presented by Allegiant Air with 7 new nonstop flight destinations from Indy. Get the best travel deals only at Allegiant.com. There's a shot of Andrew Luck. Have a little fun on the sidelines. There's Andre Johnson, who made that beautiful that grab for the two-point conversion, but had a couple of really nice catches tonight. And Coach, you're going to have a lot to talk about in your new television show here shortly.
Well, we really are. We're going to, you know, it's going to be a preview show. CBS 4, 8:30 on Sunday mornings. We're calling it First Down with Rick Venturi. First Down because it's right out of the box. First thing you're going to see, you know, and we're going to try to make it really enjoyable and purposeful as you get ready for the game.
Well, first down is always an important down, Coach, so I know that you're going to take that very seriously.
Yes, we are. We need better first downs tonight.
David Fales just came in at quarterback for Chicago. First time we've seen him tonight. And we'll check out who ran the football that time for you as well. It looked like a new back in the ball game, but we'll just check it out and see. And I believe it was Perry Sonoris is in for the first time at running back. And again, let's go down to the Toyota sideline report with Steve Andrus.
And here with Anthony Costanzo starting left tackle. Anthony, how big was that last drive for you guys to get some points on the board, get some momentum going against a Bears defense that has very solid pass rushers?
Yeah, it felt good to you know, score. I guess that's our first touchdown that we scored as an offense for the year. So anytime you can get in the end zone, it feels good.
I want to ask you about this after I asked Dwayne Allen the same thing. How should fans view the offense right now with all these expectations? How should they be viewing what they see in the preseason? What's the build-up?
You know, we're trying to work on things. We're trying to work on becoming more balanced. You know, I think last year we ended up kind of falling into we passed the ball a lot, and we know we can do that. So, you know, we're trying to show that we're able to run the ball, and I think we did some good things in the run game today. So, you know, every time you see one of those 5-yard, 6-yard runs, that's what we're looking for.
You got a new guy on the offensive line, and Todd Harriman's coming over from the Eagles. What have you seen from him so far?
You know, it's a lot of experience. You know, he kind of approaches the game with a very cerebral way. A lot of great communication, and he's a good leader. I mean, he goes out there, he prepares to play, and he's a good guy to have on the offensive line for sure.
Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. And hey, guys, an Anthony Costanzo interview where he wasn't asked about the ESPN body issue.
Yet he had clothes on. I like it. 4th down as the Colts defense stiffens this time and forces them into a punting situation. And Duron Carter gets this fair catch call for the 20-yard line. Actually pulls in and around the 22.
It was good to see O'Donnell in the game again. We didn't see him early.
Exactly. At least he's punted a couple times here in the second half. So right now it's Indianapolis taking over the football with 5:12 to go. McDonald's Big Mac sack tonight. If the Colts sack the quarterback, get a free Big Mac when you buy one at regular prices. The next day, the Big Mac official burger of the Colts. And again, all brought to you by McDonald's.
Well, like I said, Don, one thing I think that's going to be really important is somewhere along the line, and I think you have to do it next week.
5-yard penalty.
Is you got to get Robinson some work, against the ones. Really,
with the ones, right?
With the ones against
the
number
ones.
one competition. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a lot. You just have to get a feel of it.
Colts get saddled with a 5-yard penalty there, and it goes back to the 12, or make it at the 17-yard line.
Penalties have really been a disaster tonight. This team was lightly penalized, led the league 2 years ago, and all of a sudden we've had a slew of them, even last year.
Here's the throw. This ball again deflected around out there. It was intended for Ezel Ruffin. Hasn't seen a lot of playing time thus far in the preseason, but got an opportunity there, and that ball was thrown a little bit wide.
Yeah, Bennett is really struggling with accuracy. This is well behind him. Anytime you go in that no-fly zone, like I said last week, you got to get it in those numbers.
So now it is 2nd down and 15. Colts trying to find some rhythm to this offense, and they're having a tough time doing it. There's a throw, and it's caught out there by Langford, who makes a nice catch for Indianapolis. Ryan Langford, a first-year player out of Illinois. DeMontre Hurst makes the stop for Chicago, but the Bears give up a 1st down here on a nice pass play.
Deep comeback, one-on-one coverage. This is just simply good throw and catch. Good route, brings it back a little bit away from the defender.
So 1st down for Indianapolis at the 34-yard line. Drive stays alive, gives a little more work to this unit that's on the field. Bennett again wants to go to the air, does to the sideline, and Eric Swope makes the catch, then dropped the football, picks it back up. A flag came down very late.
Yeah, they're going to get Ulrich John here on the left side. He definitely had a hold.
Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
And you're right, Coach, it was Ulrich John. So he's the guilty party, and that'll bring it back. Not a good thing for the Colts, and you're right about the penalties, biting them in the rear end. Ball spotted down at the 24-yard line.
Right here, see his hands separate. Anytime those hands separate, even if it's close, you're going to get called. You got to keep those hands in tight and work them inside like a boxer.
So 1st and 20 now for Brian Bennett of the offense. Bennett this time runs out of the pocket, rolls to his right, and now he's going to run it upfield and gets out of bounds. And that's one of the things that this Bennett youngster can do, Coach. He can use those feet.
He's an athlete. The biggest key with him in terms of resume here or anywhere else is he accurate enough? Is he accurate in the pocket? Because at the end of the day, that's what an NFL quarterback's got to do. Not so much tonight, really. Not so much.
You're right. 2nd down at 18. Bennett again steps up. This time no place to go. And he was stopped almost immediately once he got into the lane where he looked like he was going to run forward by David Bass, a linebacker, 3rd-year player out of Missouri Western State. See the pressure coming?
They're blitzing. Then they run a little twist game. Denzel Good, rookie over there. No chance, can't find it.
So now it's 3rd down and 25. The ball back at the 19-yard line.
Well, pass protection is an issue, even with the top guys tonight. That may be, when you go good, bad, that may be the scariest thing of the evening. That's got to be fixed, particularly with this unit's going to struggle. But that first unit's got to be a heck of a lot better.
Throw downfield, and the Langford attempted catch, just not quite there. Thrown a little bit too high. And so that'll bring up 4th down. Punting unit will come back out. Pat McAfee will take over. Take a look at that play one more time here.
Yeah. Again, you got to get that ball in there. That's a no-fly zone. That safety was coming down with intent to hurt.
So McAfee will boot it away. A.J. Cruz, the receiver for Chicago. McAfee trying to drive this one. Ball coming down to Cruz at about the 36-yard line. And Cruz tries to take it upfield, but he's met it around the 44-yard line by number 44, Junior Sylvester. We'll celebrate the return of football with a Colts kickoff concert presented by Verizon. It happens on September 11th along Georgia Street in downtown Indianapolis. Visit Colts.com/events to learn more. Well, we're down to 3 minutes, 21 seconds left in this football game. The Bears on top 23-11. Colts having another tough time in the second half tonight after leading at halftime. Now we got a player, Adongo, coming to the sideline and looking like he's hurt. Got something wrong with a hand down there. Everybody gets off the field, so they'll be able to run a play.
Well, in the second half, a lot of mistakes, turnovers, give him a short field, but the Colts defense was just no match for Jeremy Langford. He really had his way with us tonight.
And David Fales back in at quarterback for Chicago. Fales under center. He's going to hand the football off. It goes to Perry Sonoris. And Sonoris doesn't find any place to go as the Colts come up and stiffen. Zach Kerr comes over from the nose tackle position to make the stop on the play. Nice job by the 6'2", 334-pounder from Delaware. Second-year player makes it a 2nd down and 12.
If he could achieve the consistency, he continues to flash. He flashed last week. You see bursts from him. You just got to see it all the time.
Bears work out of a single running back formation. And again, Sonoris gets the call, but there is nothing there. He picks up maybe a half yard, but not much more. As Montori Hughes, the big defensive tackle for the Colts, makes the tackle on the play. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. May get off one more play before the 2-minute warning, but perhaps not. Looks like the Bears are going to let the clock run out. And that be the case. Chicago will let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning.
That is the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
And so we will come back with the final 2 minutes of this one tonight with the Indianapolis Colts trailing Chicago 23-11. Today's special teams player of the game is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers and CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. And that man is Tyler Varga, and he had 2 kick returns tonight for 27 yards. One was really a very effective run right up the middle of the field, Coach.
He's going to give you his money's worth. That kid is tough. I don't know if he'll make this club, but he will give it to you, everything he's got.
David Fales in at quarterback once again for the Bears. 3rd down and 11. And Fales throws the football. It's bounced up in the air, almost picked off, but it'll be an incomplete pass. Bounces off the intended receiver that time. It was John Childs, a wide receiver, first-year player from Texas. And that will force the Bears into a punting situation. There's the replay on it. Pretty good pop there.
Pretty good pop. A little bit of a snag route there on 3rd and 2. Good to get off.
So Deron Carter is back once again in punt return fashion. Patrick O'Donnell will punt it to him. And he kicks that end-over-end type of a kick as Carter fields it about the 12-yard line. Dodges one defender. A flag comes down. That usually indicates a holding violation or a block in the back. We'll wait and see on that. Anthony Jefferson makes the tackle for Chicago.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 35. Half of this is a goal. First down.
Well, it's now time for the hard worker of the game, presented by Indiana, a state that works. And there you see him, Junior Sylvester. Looks like Sylvestre, but it's pronounced Sylvester, who had 4 tackles, 4 assists tonight. He was very active on the football field, Coach.
He really was. Made a lot of tackles. You know, he's getting an opportunity. There's injuries at linebacker. Both he and Herrera, have bumped up. He had a tough play on the long run. He came a little bit wide on the blitz, which is that's a product of a young kid right now, but he is very active.
That was the hard worker of the game, presented by Indiana, a state that works. Inside handoff from Brian Bennett, and as he got the handoff to Abu Torre, first time he's been in the ball game tonight, the rookie out of Utah, getting an opportunity. Or UT Martin, my apology, I said Utah. And now the whistle blows this play dead.
False start. Offense number 71. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
So the ball now at the 4-yard line. And the Colts deep in their own territory.
That one is second and 96.
There you see Chuck Pagano just wanting that clock to start. Get this one in the books. Again, the inside handoff. Torrey, nice little run this time. A little push on that one as Terry Williams makes the tackle for Chicago. But at least he moves it a little forward. Gets it out there near the 8-yard line. Actually almost to the 9. Brings up third down at about 8. And the clock inside a minute. Colts again tonight in the second half just struggled. Didn't make the kind of plays or the kind of progress that you would like to see from a lot of different people. Colts did lead at halftime.
Yeah, and that's the good news. And you build on those little things. It wasn't beautiful, but because you played really good red zone defense, gave up a lot of yards, you made mistakes, but because you played good red zone defense, you gave Andrew a chance to go down and get a touchdown and get you ahead. It's going to be that way sometime.
Well, the clock is going to run out on that last play, and the Chicago Bears will leave Lucas Oil Stadium tonight with a victory. The Bears are 2-0 in the preseason. They win this one 23-11 over Indianapolis. The Colts go to 0-2 in the preseason. Last year they were 0-4. Just thought we would remind you of that, because obviously this ball club plays its best football once they get to the regular season, and they've done it for a long time now. At any rate, the final score once again, Chicago 23, Indianapolis 11. We'll have the wrap-up of tonight's telecast in a moment, right after these messages.